Huh? There. Oh. Huh? Durr.
Hey now, and welcome down to KC Toy Reviews. We are here today with Ghostrider by Hot Toys. But unfortunately, not the regular one, not Johnny Blaze. No, this is Robbie Reyes from the piece of crap garbage Marvel show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's right, the show that we pretend never existed, but unfortunately, it still does. So, as always, we have a great figure by Hot Toys in front of us, so let's go ahead and dive right the hell goddamn in. So let's go ahead and get it out of the way. If you're a big fan of the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, good for you. But I think it is probably one of the biggest pieces of crap Marvel has ever put out, besides The Inhumans. I mean, that one's actually probably worse. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was just a travesty. And they clearly tried to make it fit in with the Marvel MCU timeline, and it just didn't work. Now, with that said, I can think of one benefit from the show. Well, that lies right in front of us. Robbie Reyes, Ghostrider. During the show, I would say that he wasn't a horrible character. Again, it did give us a version of Ghostrider on screen. Now, forgive me, I'm not too in-depth with the character Ghostrider. And the reason I mention that is I'm not sure if Robbie Reyes was in the comics or not. I am very familiar with Johnny Blaze and the pact with the devil that he made to become Ghostrider. I don't really know who Robbie Reyes is. With all that aside, we have an amazing figure in front of us. Now, as always, Hot Toys has knocked it out of the park. We have a great Ghostrider representation ripped straight from the comics. A couple things to note right off the bat is this clothing in set is really fantastic and spot on with tailoring. However, I would say that this piece here, the chest piece coat, is doomed. The leatherish pleather material that they went with, depending on your climate, this thing's doomed. It's probably going to start to flake and fall apart in the next few years. I have some Batman boots that are now starting to flake and fall apart. So as soon as I saw this thing, I was thinking, I'll probably get 2 to 3 years of shelf life before I start to see some slight deterioration in the suit and the cosmetics. That aside, it looks great. Fantastic weathering, a little zipper there. You can actually zipper it down, and there's a little shirt underneath. We have weathering, a little bit of weathering in the pattern on there, which was nice instead of a bright white. The guy's turning on fire every time. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of weathering to top of that, so they did a nice job there. Because of the leather pleather material, there is some limitations in the articulation. Now, if you watch my videos, I don't go too in-depth with articulation, but with that said, I will note the angles that you can get aren't too in-depth because of the leather material on there. You will get a little bit of pushback. Now, as we zoom into the headpiece, fantastic. Again, slight weathering throughout the skull. You actually have a little bit of articulation in the mouth and the jaw piece there. Decent articulation on the head. Again, there's some limitations on this thing overall. But you can get some pivot back and forth there. Now, as you can see in the lens right now, there are little dots in the eye, little red dots there. I never do. I'm not going to put the batteries in, but you can put a light up feature on this guy. I think all light up features, unless you go to a third party customization and go a true LED, they all look like crap, so I very rarely ever do it. However, you do have the option to put a little bit of a light up feature in the head here. But just truly fantastic, menacing, a badass head sculpt that Hot Toys has produced here with this Ghostrider. In my opinion, it is just ripped straight from the comics. If you are a fan of Ghostrider, they have done justice to this head sculpt. Now I'm going to try to encompass a few things in this shot here. One thing being accessories, right? So we do have this chain, and almost what you see is what you get. I'm going to try to do it all in this shot here. You do have that chain that's red, that's basically a representation of a fire chain that he has lit up. We do have another chain, if I can get that in shot here. We have this one here, if you want to kind of wrap that around and assume we don't have a fire angle. We have fire pieces that you can put in the hands. So there's this one, and then you got this big boy here that you can put a hand basically through those holes there. So another fire piece. So just different fire that you can put on each hand, if you want to put some dynamic poses and change it up a little bit there. And then the fire that you saw the other hand, you have one more that you can put in the other hand. So if you want to have them holding fire in each hand, you do have two of them to do that with. You have this fire piece here, the dangling piece. You have these pieces at the bottom that are basically just staged around his leg. I think mine kind of fell around, but you can do whatever the hell you want with these. You can make a box with them. You can put them near the feet. Whatever you want to do with the ones at the feet, but those ones are made to be on the ground. And then before we move on, the last two things I want to note, the tailoring on the jeans are fantastic. They legit look real. And you might say, oh, that's easy to do. But if you zoom in on them, there's just like a slight weave and a nice pattern on them that they just look fantastic. So leather coat down to the jeans, they really knocked it out of the park with the tailoring on this guy. And even the shoes, just kind of a cool little, they remind me of Vans or some type of skater kicks, but it just all fits really well together. And then lastly, something I rant about all the time, but Hot Toys never skips a beat on this, so it's an obvious thing, stand. He does come with a nice branded stand, a very stereotypical Hot Toy stand, but not that that's a bad thing, but it is just a normal Hot Toy stand that comes with it, branded, nice ghostrider right on the front, crappy Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sign there on the bottom. Well, I mean, the sign is nice. They did a nice job with it, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is just horrible. Just a piece of junk, just garbage that I just want to pour water on and feathers and syrup and pour ants and sugar. Just awful. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the figure. All right, so let's start to wrap this up and slap a score on this guy. And one last time, I do apologize about that rant, about that garbage piece of crap show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you like it, more power to you. It's just my opinion that it should be burned and never shown again. All digital copies, physical copies, everything. So nobody can ever see that show again. But again, just my opinion. This figure is great. I have been wanting a Ghostrider figure for a long time. Now, there is another Johnny Blaze Hot Toys figure out there. I don't think it is nearly as good as this. Old school Hot Toys, a long time ago. In comparison to this, it looks like crap. So to have something like this on my shelf that kind of fits in and actually is superior to some of the things even around it is very exciting. The tailoring, top notch. Accessories, a couple different chains and a bunch of fire. What else are you going to ask for with Ghostrider? The accessories, I think, are great. I'm giving them a thumbs up. I really, truly mean that. I don't know what else I could have asked for. We have a branded stand and a menacing, fantastic head sculpt. The fire, a little bit of a jaw articulation. So just really, really great job overall from top to bottom. And I really, truly mean that. I'm very excited with this piece. I didn't think it would be as good as it is. But I'm excited for it. I would say that one of the only knocks that I have actually is the body underneath feels like not so good quality. The legs and the way it felt a little jangy in comparison to like a World Box. And the fact that, I don't know, companies like So out there are using higher quality bodies than this Ghostrider is a little disappointing. Because we have an amazing exterior. So I wish the Hot Toys did kick it up in the quality department of the body underneath, but as always, they are kings of the quality on top. And this thing is a representation of just that. Ghostrider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, with all that said, score on this guy, and I'm not going to take the piece of crap garbage Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show into consideration. Has nothing to do with my score. It's purely on the figure in front of me. And you know what? I already know it. It's an 8.2 out of 10. That's right. An 8.2 out of 10. A great figure. I mean, the fact that it's over an 8, I would say that it is a recommended figure. At this point, I think this thing's up in the $350 to maybe $400 mark. But with that said, there is I don't even know what it's called, the cowboy old school Ghostrider third party one coming out soon. And I don't know it off the top of my head right now, but there is a new Ghostrider coming out that'll look fantastic paired with this guy. So be on the lookout for that review, hopefully within the next 6 months or so, because I think that's when it's coming out. And then on top of that, obviously, you have one more chance to get a Ghost Rider yourself. And it looks badass. Has a big trench coat, I think a cowboy hat and everything, with the Ghost Rider by, God, I'm going to butcher the name, Sam Worthington, maybe? The old school actor with the mustache there. So, anyways, 8.2 out of 10. Ghost Rider, piece of crap Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Casey Toys. See you guys next time!